So, hello everyone, this is Dipali from first year MMS. Today we will talk on the topic of types of inventory from the subject operations management. So, in this we will study like how it inventories are necessary for a company to run and what happens if there is excess of inventory in a company. So, we will see different types of inventory also. So, let's start. These are the contents which I've added to my slides in the presentation. First is types of what is inventory, types of inventory, the different types I have added, that is raw materials, work in process, finished products, MRO, advantages, limitations of inventory, and conclusion. So let's start on what is inventory. Now, inventory is the raw materials, work in process, and final goods that are ready or are ready to be sold. Okay, now inventory, it is the most valuable assets for a company or for a business. If there is a excess amount of inventory in a company, then that can be a liability to the company. For example, food. Food is the main and the most valuable assets for a human body. It gives energy so that we can work. So the body can only tolerate that much amount of food which is needed for the body. If we consume excess amount of food, then that body cannot tolerate. Why? Because it is more. So what happens because of having excess amount of food, the body can get harmed. It will be harmful for the body. So in that case, just like that, in a company, when we do inventory, so do only that much inventory which is needed for the company, so that uh, revenue is generated for the company. Okay, and if there is much amount or excess amount of inventory, then that can be a liability. That product will not be sold. For example, if suppose there is a demand of games in the market, so what happens? Children's or the elders or the younger people, they run to buy that games because there is a demand. So it that demand will be for a certain period of time. So if that demand becomes less, then that product will remain as it is in the company, in the shop. People will not come to buy it. So what happens that there will be a waste of money and the stock will be more. So that will be a liability for the company. So inventory is this. So the sole purpose of the inventory is to sell product to the customers so that the profit is generated. Also, we'll see example of newspaper. In this newspaper, which the vendor is using a vehicle to deliver newspapers to the customers, only the newspaper will be considered inventory and the vehicle will be treated as an asset because it is used to deliver newspapers on the particular area. Okay, also we can say that the example of wood. Okay, in this we can say that the wood, we can convert that into a chair or table, so the company is adding value to it before selling. Okay, so that is also is called an inventory, in short, in simple words. So let's see the type of inventories. First is raw material, second is work in process, finished goods, MRO goods. Okay, let's see raw material. What are raw materials? Raw materials are the materials a company uses to create and finish products. So these raw materials consist of all the items that are processed as an input to produce the final product. Okay, like wood, we have discussed about wood is a raw material and its final product is chair or table. Okay, so these materials can be categorized into two materials. First is direct raw materials and second is indirect raw materials. So let's see what are direct and indirect. So direct materials are items that is used to produce the final product. Like wood is used for making furnitures and fabric is used to make clothes. Now indirect materials, these are the materials which is used throughout the production process but does not get or does not become a part of the final product. Okay, for example, oils used to run a machine. Okay, and light bulbs are used for the factory, so these helps in production process to run, but this part are not a part of the final product. Okay, let's see next, work in process. Okay, so work in process, These are the goods between the raw materials and finished goods in production process. So once the manufacturer starts producing using the production process, then the items which are used, they are no longer raw materials. They are considered as work in process until they are converted into the final product. For example, if a teacher says you to write an essay, okay, then an essay is your final product. So what you will use to make that final product, you will use a book and a pen. So the book and pen is a raw material. When you start writing, then that becomes a work in process. So and you start writing until and unless you get a final product. Means when your work is finished, then you will receive a final product and you will submit that work to your teacher. So in the company also, when you have any raw material and you have an expectancy that this material should be converted into this, so what you will do, you will shape that raw material, you will mold it, you will cut the edges, you will make it soft and make and do some process so that what you are expecting, the product, that product will be the result of what you are expecting or what you have made. So that is a work in process. Next are finished goods. All the items ready to be sold are considered part of the finished goods inventory. Okay. Now, these goods are produced after the production process is complete. So previously, like we have spoken about different types of inventories like raw materials, like the process which we have talked about. So this by using this product, by using this process, we can have finished products. Okay, so these are the final products which are ready for sale in the market. For example, ice oil is a final product of the oil company, and there are so many things like Colgate, chocolates, and shampoos. So many things are there which is sold in market. So those are the final products of the raw materials, particular raw materials. Okay, so here we can see that the chair is a final product of wood, couch is a final product. Now let's see maintenance, repair, operations, MRO. As the name suggests, maintenance, repair, and operations inventory is essential to keep your factory operational. So now these types like tools and spare parts are required to fix and repair machines. Okay. Now the materials which are materials and items a company buys or uses, but they are not part of the finished goods or products. They are MROs, like gloves for packing, stationery items, repair and maintenance of machines, tools, spare parts, etc. So these are used for a business to run, but they are not a part of the final product. Now let's see the advantages of inventory. So these advantages are improves accuracy, real-time inventory tracking helps you improve inventory management and ensures that you have optimal stock available to fulfill orders. So in short, the advantages of inventory, what it is, it does, it improves accuracy, it reduces costs, it saves time. Okay, like we have discussed before, that if we do inventory only that much which is needed, then we will not have any fear of like of the waste of money or of the selling fear, right? So if we only like it saves time if we do correct amount of inventory, and also improves business planning. We can have a good profit, we can generate a good revenue for the company. Okay, next is limitations of inventory. So limitations are obsolete inventory, storage costs, potential insurance costs and loss, and tying up capital. So now overstocking on products runs the risk of the product becoming obsolete. So this is true especially in technology sectors such as smartphones and televisions, but no industry is exempt. So we have taken the example of game. Next is storage cost. The more stuff you have, the more space you need. So commercial space is leased per square foot. So consider the costs to store excess inventory compared to the savings on wholesale orders. It also costs to do more inventory control and audits. Next is potential insurance cost and loss. So insurance costs go up with larger storage areas and larger inventory values. Tying up capital. When you have excess inventory, you pay for the order. the storage and insurance. So you can't get around this. For businesses that are working with small margins and on tight monthly budgets, this can hamper business development decisions because they don't have cash in hand. So these are the limitations which will affect the company if the inventory is not done properly. Okay. Now, what do we conclude from this? That careful classification of inventory, like how much we need and where it is needed to be put, and continuing analysis of those classifications can play a vital role in maintaining cost at the efficient level has established goals. So, inventory control is a constant requirement of doing businesses successfully. Okay, so thank you so much.